Hey everyone, One Big Boss here. As you can tell by the title of the video that you clicked on, we are talking Resident Evil, but more specifically, has Capcom missed the mark? Now, obviously, within the last couple of years, Capcom has been putting out hit after hit after hit. Some with great reviews, some with mixed reviews, but all the same, the company has been producing a lot of good content and making money. And now, with the rumors of a supposed Resident Evil 4 remake being handled by the team that did RE3 Remake, I gotta tell you folks, I'm a little worried about that. And here's why. Sure, it's just a rumor right now, right? But so was 2, and so was 3, and so was 7, and look what happened. Now, I understand why they would want to remake Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a huge moneymaker for the franchise, and it's kind of where the series diverted into what we have today. But we don't need it now because it's still relevant. It's being ported on everything. It's on the freaking Nintendo Switch, ladies and gentlemen. There is really, no reason at all why we need a remake of this game right now. Now, maybe in the future, 20th anniversary of the game, maybe we could use that. I think something like that would be pretty good. But overall, I don't think we actually need that right now. I really feel that if we just step back and look at the other things Capcom needs to do with Resident Evil, you're gonna find that there's more things than Resident Evil 4 that need a remake. And starting right off the bat, we're talking about the redheaded stepchild of this series. It might not be my personal favorite, but I gotta talk about this because I think it does deserve the remake treatment, and that is Resident Evil Code Veronica. Code Veronica had come out on the Dreamcast, and to me back then blew my mind. It is not one of my favorite Resident Evil games of all time. It's like not in my top 5. But it is a game that deserves the remake treatment because of what it did for the Dreamcast back in the day. This was literally the only title that carried the Resident Evil name that was a new title on the console. Sure, we had ports of 2 and 3, but again, Code Veronica was the only new one, and the graphics and the updates and the fear and the music, the atmosphere, everything in that department worked so damn well with this game. But there is a lot of issues with Code Veronica. Resident Evil has always been a game about unlockables, and unfortunately, Code Veronica lacks that ability. There is a battle mode to unlock, and there is the infinite rocket launcher, linear launcher, whatever the case of it is called. There's that, and that's cool, but that's it. There's no alternate outfits for the characters other than Evil Claire that's in the game, and I really feel that the unlockable aspect of it needs to be expanded upon with new outfits, better weapons, maybe some kind of like outer space type weapon, like something like the knife in Resident Evil 3 that you can unlock and such. The funny things like that is what Capcom games used to be about in many ways when it came to unlocking cool stuff. And while we're on the subject, we gotta talk about the other character of Code Veronica, and that is Steve. Steve needs a drastic improvement over the original in terms of his gameplay. You literally played as him for like 5 minutes, and then that was it. Folks, I think that he deserves the Carlos treatment. Carlos had a small part in the original Resident Evil 3, and in the reimagining of the 2020 game, he had 2 really awesome parts in that game, and he was such an amazingly cool, fun character. And I'm glad that they gave him the overhaul that he deserved, campaign-wise and, personality-wise. But here's the thing. Steve had less time than Carlos and in RE2 with Ada and Sherry and even Rebecca in RE1. So they need to expand upon that. And how they can do it is, in the S.D. Perry novel of Code Veronica, Steve actually goes to some kind of abandoned airport or dock or anything like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember him seeing everything in ruin, and then they weren't going to get off the island in that way. They could expand upon that novel and do just that. Have him explore the docks and everything like that for anything. Have him find clues and pieces to a puzzle that you need to unlock a door to get to the next area of the game. And then he doesn't find all the pieces. That's what Claire's doing in her campaign. She's finding all the stuff, and when she gets to it, she realizes, oh, someone else has already done it. It must be Steve. Something like that would be pretty good. Maybe have him have a run-in with Alfred at one point, right? That would be really interesting of a thing to see him go up against. Like, maybe like in the Antarctic level before he has that final showdown with them. I don't know. Something like that. Something like that I feel could do very well for the character before his ultimate demise. And, for the love of God, don't make his like a Crash Bandicoot thing where you're just running from the monster. Have us actually fight him like we did in Darkside Chronicles. Something like that I think would be a lot of fun. Obviously not the same thing, but something better than what the original was. Because I was bummed out that we didn't get to fight the giant Steve Axe monster. It was kind of a bummer. And the one thing I gotta talk about that definitely needs improvement in Code Veronica is the level designs and layouts. I love how things look in this game. I really do. And I love the areas that you explore. The problem is, there is way too much backtracking, even by Resident Evil standards in this, and it kind of gets annoying when you're in the prison area for the most part. The whole, please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box, that part got old really fast. A lot of the stuff when you get to the residence where you first find Alfred, that kind of got annoying at times, but I think that if you just really expand upon it, work a little better with some puzzles, because let's face it, Resident Evil 3 lacks puzzles, Code Veronica has puzzles, and that's what they need to focus on with the next remake if they decide to do this game. Overall, I really feel that because of the characters that are in this game, we would get really good actors again to play these characters, and maybe some to return for these characters, which is something I really hope for, but I hope that if this ever does become a thing, they really put some thought into this and just don't think, hey, it's Code Veronica, let's just put it out there and people are going to buy it, because that's not going to fly, and you're only shooting yourself in the foot by that. Now, there is one other game, or technically two other games that deserve a remake in the series, long before 4 does, I feel, and that is the Resident Evil Outbreak series. Resident Evil Outbreak and File 2 came out way before their time, man. Like, they were at the infancy of online gaming, and it had no chance to survive. Nobody could get the PS2 online back in the day. I mean, obviously they have. Like, I met people who did and everything, but there was no keyboard option. There was no mic option. There was nothing, and you couldn't just use your cell phone back in the day to call up a friend and play the game like you can now, or just use something like Discord. It just doesn't happen. But the reason why this game deserves the remake now more than ever, or at least a remaster, or a brand new one with the older games with online options, is because this game has variety, okay? The characters in this game are great. They all have strengths and weaknesses, special ability, and teaming up as a team, finding out who works really good with one another, or who's good to go off on their own, while the rest of the team goes and does this, solving puzzles here, you dealing with enemies over here, and scrounging for items there. That is what is really strong. That's what made Monster Hunter World such a great online experience, was being able to play with your friends. And Capcom, if you're listening to this, please rethink Outbreak and realize that's what people want. We've wanted this for years. Look, you tried to do things differently with the Mercenaries 3D, Operation Raccoon City, Umbrella Corps, and Resistance. And let's face it, a lot of those games people didn't want or like, okay? And this is the time now. This is the time now to do an Outbreak game. Give it to a development team. If you're not going to do it in-house, give it to the development team who really love games. Now, the people who did Resistance, I know a lot of people got a problem with Resistance, but I think that the love that has been shown with Resistance to the older parts of the games and what they try to accomplish in this, I think Outbreak could be done good by them if given the chance, okay? Give them a great budget to work with. Make this feel like a AAA game, right? Because the other part of what makes Outbreak so great is the fact that you can unlock so much crap in this game. Both games, there's so many things to unlock in terms of sound and music and, you know, different modes of replay and costumes, artwork, that kind of thing is amazing, and that's what makes Outbreak great. You can have a fun time playing on normal mode, but then you play hard mode or very hard mode or some of the later difficulties, and you realize, shit, it's not the same thing. It's like an arranged mode. Everything's different. They've added new puzzles now. They've added puzzles that need to be completed. Holy shit, like, what do I do? That is where your bread and butter would come from with this. If you worked really hard to make this game work, a new Outbreak game work, in the same vein as you did with Monster Hunter World, you would make the money that you need. And after all that, then you go and do Resident Evil 4. Because as of right now, if Resident Evil 4 does exist, well, I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that Code Veronica and Outbreak are being ignored when they're clearly the two that people want more than 4. I have seen diehard fans of 4 who don't want 4 to be remade at all. And then the other ones were saying, no, I want to see Code Veronica first before I see 4. So that's my thoughts and opinions. Please, guys, as always, let me know down in the comments below, because I'd like to know what you guys think about this as well. Please thumbs up and subscribe, because it's free in this day and age. Free is a damn good thing. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time. Hey guys, thanks again for watching this video. If you can give it a share, that'd help my channel out big time. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, where I'm most active. Links down below in the description. Also, if you want to see me stream some video games, follow me on my Twitch channel as well. Many thanks again, guys. Greatly appreciate it.